Hello, everybody, and welcome back. We're here with Arrington, we're here with Momo, and with Rachel, our awesome panelists, to discuss with you, I think, one of the most powerful spiritual concepts that we have in Kabbalah. And that is the concept, we mentioned it in a couple of our previous discussions, the concept of a soul correction, or what the Kabbalists call tikkun. And for me, this is one of the most powerful discussions, is because it answers so many questions we have in life. So guys, let me know if you've ever asked yourself this question: why is this happening to me again? Anybody?
Yeah, 100%.
All the time.
It seems like this is going on in my life over and over and over again. It feels like I'm in some sort of a loop and I don't know how to break free from it. It seems like the challenges that are placed in my life, I don't have solutions for, and I don't know why they're coming. They're just there and they're a nuisance. In Kabbalah, we learn, and we've learned throughout all of our discussions together, that there's specific reasons for things taking place in our life. And as we open up this discussion of our soul correction and our tikkun, we're going to get lots of answers. So I'm going to start just by asking any of our panelists just to share, give me an example or a situation in life where you felt like you couldn't break free from a loop and things just kept happening. You kept running into the same type of people. You kept dating the same type of person. You kept feeling the same kind of way about yourself or about school or about unlimited opportunities here. So anybody that wants to jump in.
I'll jump in. I've had, like, even since high school, growing up, like a similar type of person around me that is just very slow and needs their time and super sensitive and all these, everything that I am not good at, everything that I don't necessarily connect with. So it's been a very interesting lesson to learn. I don't want to go into too many, right, because I want to give a chance to other people, but basically just meeting a similar type of personality that is hard to necessarily get along with. I'm sure a lot of people can relate.
So just to be clear, you're someone that is very
I'm someone that's very fast-paced, impatient, likes things done a certain way, not the most empathetic person, and like sensitive and slow. Wait, let's talk about feelings for a second. So it just challenges me in every single way of this.
And so then you draw people around you, people in your school, projects that take their time, they are sensitive.
They need more help, that they, that I need to help them with in school. Like, it was always me, like, okay, guys, let me explain to you the project first, then we can do it, like everything like that.
Okay. It's almost, and this is like a point where it seems like almost pure comedy, right? Like you find a way to attract people that are so slow, and you know the next person you're going to attract is going to be that way, but you don't know why it's happening. So it's a great example, So we'll get into it. We'll get into it and understand why these situations are taking place. But Arrington, Momo, anything?
Yeah, for me, when I was a teenager, I always felt huge amounts of FOMO. You know, whether it was not going to a party or an event or hanging out with certain people, I always felt every single time compelled to say yes, even though I was either not in the mood or didn't even want to hang out with certain people, or I was tired. And so that was a big one for me, of just going to things I either didn't want to go to or feeling like I was forced to go to these things just because I was so afraid of missing out on something.
Missing out.
Like that would happen.
And I think many of the people that are watching, many of our viewers that are watching can relate to the FOMO thing, and find themselves in situations in which they don't want to be, just because they might have missed something and they can't maybe break that loop. That's amazing. Momo?
Yeah. Mine was feeling either betrayed or let down by people I looked up to. So for example, my oldest brother, when I was like up until about, I want to say 11 or 12 years old, like I really looked up to him. Like everything I did 90% of the time was trying to copy him, right? And then one day he turned like 13, 14 or something. I'm 3 years younger than him. And all of a sudden he just turned around and became such a bully towards me. like my sister can attest to that, that it just like, it felt like a complete betrayal, like a 180. And it wasn't just him. Later, there was like a teacher I would look up to. I found out that, you know, like they weren't actually as great a person as I thought. They would do things or say things that just like, it totally lets you down, you know? And so then it becomes really hard to just like actually find someone to look up to, because now I'm afraid, they're just going to let me down again. It's not even worth getting invested in, you know?
Yes. Wow. Yeah. I mean, now that you mentioned the word teacher, I can share personally that one of the things growing up that I constantly throughout my childhood faced was authority figure issues. Anybody that had power over me, anybody that can tell me what to do, me and them didn't have a good relationship. And it went all the way from like a coach to a teacher to my mom to my eventual boss and employee. And you see how as you go from a teenager where, okay, but when you now have a boss and you have someone you're looking at, it can be very problematic to not respect anybody above you. So we have these patterns. It's so interesting how, and I'm always attracted to always people in my life are above me and stronger than me and look bigger than me and look better than me. I'm like, oh my God, how do I get there? Leave me. I want to be away from you. FOMO, or situations that we don't want to be at. You're in a situation where you constantly put someone on a pedestal and then they end up, the rug gets pulled out from under you, or you're just extremely fast and you draw someone that's like really slow and requires a lot of patience. So I think all of us gave a couple of examples for you that are at home watching. And I hope that this is one of the questions that you're asking yourself, because you can get a lot from today's discussion. In episode 1, we're discussing and covering what happens, what are these situations. So take a moment now before we jump into episode 2, explain why it's happening, explain how to deal with it, explain what does Kabbalah say about these patterns and about these loops. And then of course in episode 3, we're going to give you some tools how to break free from those loops, how to start changing this system, how to not feel bad about it, but really feel powerful about it and to feel in control about it. So take a moment before you jump into episode 2 to bring out a piece of paper and just start thinking for yourself, what is my loop? What are the people that I can't avoid? What are the situations I can't avoid? They always keep finding a way back in. And when you have your list and when you're ready with these big questions, join us in episode 2. So thank you, Arrington. Thank you, Momo. Thank you, Rachel, for setting up the stage beautifully for this tikkun or soul correction discussion. Thank you all of you for watching, and we'll